Hi, Brisky. Oh. Hi, Margot. Margot the Marnome. Margot the Marnome. Margot the Marnome. Do 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 do. Margot the Marnome. Margot the Marnome. Do 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 do. Margot the Marnome. Do 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 do. Hello from Florida City, Florida. Man, Glitch Dash, you're making your way all over the country. I love how the meetup started a sub like the road to the meetup, right? Not really even the meetup itself. I know you started your road trip before then, but I just think it's funny and kind of really cool and awesome how it's led to this really long sabbatical across the entire US. You're basically living like a dirty kid right now. I mean, I assume you're probably staying in hotels and stuff like that instead of living out of your car, but that's really fucking cool, honestly. That's awesome. Part of me wishes I could get back on the road. I'm not gonna lie. I've thought about it. I've thought about seeing if there's any way I could raise enough money to buy myself a little RV and fix it up, and maybe by this time, if not this time next year, then maybe by this time the year after next, I could have a completely functional RV that I could live um, on the road with for a few months. That would be really cool. That'd be really fun. That would be so cool and so fun. Oh shit, look at that. We've already got $5 in Super Chat. Look at that. I finally bought some more feminine clothes to help my gender dysphoria. Oh, yay, Brisky. That's awesome. That's so good. That's a really great first step if you haven't done a lot of stuff to like address gender dysphoria and you're trans and you've been coming out. Buying clothes that match the gender that you want to be perceived as is one of the best steps you can take towards that. So congratulations, and I'm really happy for you. Let me give that a heart react. Let me see here. I just want to let you know that our content goals that we did earlier today on the earlier stream, those are still going. So those will persist day to day until they're met. And then we'll set new ones. Ow! You need to get back to voice training. My voice is so deep. Well, don't feel too bad, because mine is too. Walk like thunder. Walk like thunder. I didn't get much, but it's a step forward. Definitely leggings, a sports bra, and some tights and a skirt. Well, all of that is really fucking helpful towards getting that ultimate goal achieved of being able to see who you want to see in the mirror when you look in the mirror. So that is awesome. There's no angle with which that's a bad thing. I'm so happy for you. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button as you roll it in, by the way. Every single time you hit that like button is another chance to send the stream out to even more people, which increase the quality of your viewing pleasure by increasing the number of people who engage in the chat. I'm looking forward to talking about all kinds of crazy stuff today. Probably only going to stay on for an hour or so, but we'll see what happens. I think we met at the DFF meetup. Were you outside with a guitar? Yes, I was. Ben Jacobs? Yes, I indeed was. I was the one who got yelled at by dingbats for playing outside. Yeah, yeah, that was me. That's the same guitar, too. Signed by TJ, Paul, and Scotty. Very same. That's cool though. I'm really cool. I'm not. I'm really cool. I'm not really cool, but I'm really glad that I keep meeting so many cool people that I got to meet at the DFF meetup. I'm so glad that so many of you guys keep showing up in my chat. That's awesome. Is Jesus anti-war slash pro-peace or pro-war and anti-peace? One can find differing verses on that. I think a surface level reading of the Bible would say that Jesus himself is decidedly anti war, pro peace. He is often referred to as the Prince of Peace within Christian theology. But other analyses that go deeper into specific actions that Jesus took and specific moral math that Jesus does would suggest that Jesus at the very least thinks that there is a proper context for war. Wish I could go to a meetup, but I'm all the way in California. Oh, dude, the DFF meetups are fucking so dope. I don't know if you're a DFF fan, Bisky, but if you ever get a chance if you ever go to get a chance, dude, if you ever get a chance, explain dialectical materialism. I haven't read Hegel, so I can't. Correct. What is today? What is today? I don't even know. It's fucking comical that we have to have this conversation about war and Jesus. Well, it is kind of comical because it's honestly kind of comical that people are still propagating the Jesus myth this many years on. But it's going to keep happening. I mean, YouTube atheism did a good job and they made a lot of really big strides. And, TJ did what he could, but Christianity was unfortunately not stomped out from the broader popular culture. And in fact, ended up having a pretty hard resurgence even in 2015, 2016 during the first MAGA movement. And it's only continued to grow in power, prestige, and influence ever since then. Back from its lows in the 90s and early 2000s, which sucks, honestly, because for a while there, it looked like we were turning towards more rational thought. And then, of course, as things started to get bad again, so too did people's religious nonsense fly back into their head. Do you consider your discomfort about your identity an illness? Gender dysphoria is an illness, sure, but the treatment for gender dysphoria, the treatment recommended by the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, the American Pediatric Association, the American Medical Association, tons of Dutch, German, British, French, and Italian doctors, etc., the overall conclusion by the medical field seems to be that yes, gender dysphoria isn't at the very least, but that the condition is gender dysphoria or is gender transition, allowing a trans person to come out to live as the gender with which they identify, with the gender that they see themselves as, and genuinely inhabit inside their body. Just say you're gay, dog. Be for real right now. I mean, I'm bisexual, but my gender identity has nothing to do with my sexuality. Play a riff on the guitar. If somebody donates $5 or more, I'll do it. If somebody donates $5 or more, I'll do it. I'll play a riff on the guitar. I think you're fake in this for attention. I really do. Well, then, I don't know. How do you explain the fact that I've been out as 5.5 years? Well, actually, it's almost more like 6 years at this point. And for only like a year and a half of that, I've been streaming. So I was apparently out for a long ass time and didn't feel the need to stream, didn't use it as some kind of ploy for attention. But what I decided to in the last year and a half, that just doesn't make any sense to me. In reality, I started streaming because honestly, I started streaming because I had an argument with my favorite content creator. That's why. That's why I started streaming. I started streaming because I had an argument with my favorite content creator and I was kind of mauling about it a little bit. And then a few days later, I heard him say something, not to me, but to somebody else about, if you're really not like if you really don't like the content coming out of somebody's platform, if you really don't like the voice that they have with the issues, then why don't you make your own content and put what you want to see out there in the world? And I thought about that and I was like really, why don't I? Why don't I? And so I ended up streaming. I ended up getting together a pretty decent little audience, and it's just grown from there. Stop ranting about nothing. I don't stop talking for anybody. If you don't like listening to my ranting, nobody's got you chained to the radiator. You can obviously scroll up or go find something else, but something tells me you wouldn't be here unless you really liked listening to my ranting. Man versus chat, woman versus chat, but sure. Taking advice or listening to someone this confused and deranged as this dude. I'm not a dude, nor am I confused and deranged. I think it's really interesting that conservatives and especially transphobes have taken this line recently about calling every trans person like just batshit crazy when it's like just patently obvious from sitting here watching me that I'm not. I'm a completely normal, average, calm person that clearly does not struggle that deeply with anger issues. Trump 2028? Oh boy, to be that delusional and not know it. Are you Jewish? I see the star on your guitar. Big fan of Jews. What star are you identifying as a Star of David? I'm just curious. Have you ever seen a Star of David in your life? Like literally, I'm not Jewish, but I really don't mind. Here, let me give you the same response to that question that Tolkien gave when asked way back when. I regret to inform that I do not share any ancestors with that unique and gifted people. Once again, I am ashamed to say that if you are asking if I am of Jewish extraction, then I am ashamed to say that I share no ancestors with that great, noble, and ingenious people. Why are you fat? Because I eat more calories than I expend with exercise. What did you think I was going to say? It's a glandular thing? No, I just really like food, and I don't like moving quickly. So you trans? Yes, I've been out as trans since early 2020. Make sure you guys hit that like button, by the way. There are 200 of you watching, so if half of you guys hit that like button, that'd be 100 likes on top of the 13 we already have. Please hit that button. It really does help. By the way, to that person who was asking about the weight thing, I have lost 40 pounds over the course of the last year, at least as of the last time I've weighed myself. Maybe I've gained some back in the interim. It is the holidays after all. But I feel like it's pretty obvious why anybody is fat. Like some fat people will tell you it's a glandular issue, and I'm sure for some of them it is, but for most of us, like it's probably pretty fucking easy to surmise why we're fat. Holy shit, your teeth! My teeth are literally. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I think my teeth look a fair bit better than the average fucking American hillbilly that I run into. Not there. I don't have any missing ones. They're all real teeth. I don't have any cavities or any root canals needing done. I'm buck-toothed in the fucking top, and they're a little yellowed from years of smoking and drinking coffee/sweet tea. But other than that, I feel like they're pretty normal teeth. You're perfect how you are. Aw, that's so sweet. Somebody sent a super chat earlier. Let's read that real quick because I forgot to read that one, but it was sent. Here it is I love your ranting and your streams. Oh, thank you, Brisky, for the $3. That was so kind. $2 away from getting a riff on that guitar if you guys want to hear that. Illegalize homosexuality? Never gonna happen. Donnie likes sucking Trump. Trump likes sucking dick too much. Donnie's got a dick addiction. He's not gonna ban homosexuality. Donald Trump loves sucking Bill Clinton's cock. He's not going to fucking put any barriers between him and that penis. I'm not judging him for that either way. By just, I want to clarify that I think is honestly the most cool and redeeming thing about Donald Trump. That and the way he handled his Mamdani meeting, those were my two favorite Trump moments. Finding out that Trump is a raging queer and finding out that Trump really doesn't care that much about policy. He cares about familiarity. He cares about the perception of power and popularity, which is why he loves Mamdani. That's why he loves Bernie Sanders. That's why he loves fucking Vladimir Putin. Not saying that any of those guys are comparable on a policy level, but what they all share is popularity amongst their people, a broad vision, and a bold willingness to stand up to Trump. Is it a trans? Don't call human beings it unless they want you to. That's just mean, man. That's just literally mean and unnecessary. It rubs off my back like water off a duck because I've got an ego so towering above yours that it would be incomprehensible to you for me to even try and explain it. But for someone that doesn't have that giant unconquerable ego, you might actually hurt their feelings with something like that. So you should probably cut it out. Come on. You don't have to be that mean to random people on the internet. I've not said anything mean to you. I disagree with you on the probably everything, but you're cared for and loved. Hope one day people can get along and see everyone's human. I hope so too. I feel like you can disagree with somebody completely on the matters of political intrigue and the matters of the social atmosphere that you're in, and yet still see their humanity. Recognize that they were at one time in their life a child, and that their mother loved them very much, and that their father looked for them to have a really wonderful life. And I think it's important that we all try and see that humanity in one another because each and every one of us started out as a little kid who didn't know what was going to happen, where we were going to go, what our fate was going to be like, or anything else. By the way, make sure you guys hit that like button and please subscribe to the channel if you're sitting here watching this content and you really like it. We have lots of conversations over here just like this one. I do regular streams where I cover Reddit content, news content, wall cow content, and stuff like that. And those are a great thing to watch if you're just doing some dishes, doing some chores around the house, or just want some entertaining stonery podcast material. So hit that fucking subscribe button, hit the little bell so you get notifications, and please hit that like button because it really does help. Thank you guys for the gifts so far. Look at that, 88 100 so far. It's already up to 96 by the time I got finished saying that sentence. You guys are doing great. $2 away from getting a guitar played on the song. Getting a song played on the guitar. Sorry. There is male, there is female. I understand if someone feels attached to same gender, but all other stuff is just well, what you have to understand is that sex and gender are two very different things, right? Because you cannot accurately correlate someone's sex at birth, gender you perceive them as being, because there are passing trans women, there are passing trans men, and there are cis people that don't pass. There are cisgender people that look like there are cisgender women who look like men. Literally, there are cisgender women who want to be referred to as women and who enjoy the fact that they are women who choose to dress and keep themselves in a very butch way, and you cannot tell the difference between them and a man at a glance. But yet, they are in fact a woman. They want to be referred to as a woman, even by you guys' exclusionary definitions of them having to have a vagina. They're a woman in that category too. So you cannot correlate gender even just at a glance. Really, it's a complicated thing that you really only get to know someone's relationship with when you get to know that person. But more broadly, it's just a framework for us to kind of correlate and guess what kind of behaviors and expectations to have for a person based on what we assume their sex to be. Which is one of the many reasons, by the way, why I'm a gender abolitionist, because I feel like it's just another framework. I feel like it's just another framework for abuse and corruption and discrimination. Paying for slow mode? Okay, Margot, you have officially paid for slow mode, and you have also privileged us all to a little bit on the guitar. I might wait for a second to do that, but for now we will hit slow mode and any subscriber duration mode. People are gonna bitch and whine about censorship, but I just gotta tell you guys are fucking free to comment whatever you want, talk about whatever you want, and have as many fucking comments in this chat as you want to. But the only rule is you must be readable, original, and interesting. And when things get going too fast, I've got to turn it on subs mode and time mode because there's just no way to read anything getting said in here otherwise. But I do want to hear you guys' perspectives. If you want to make sure your comment or question gets read or answered, consider sending a super chat because that is the best way to get your perspective acknowledged and read. Otherwise, yeah. What do you want to do in life the most? Honestly, the thing visions for my life, really. I want to grow this channel into a little independent media empire. I want to eventually have something like what Ben Shapiro has, but on the lefty side, something kind of like the Young Turks or something like that. But I want to make something that's not necessarily centered on me. Obviously, it's going to be at first, but once I get successful enough, I want to invest my money in a separate project that gets together. Obviously, I'll participate with it until I get bored with it and want to go do something else, want to start up the restaurant, in other words. But I want to create some kind of independent media network that gets together leftist and progressive editors and journalists and independent media personalities and on the ground journalists of all kinds and brings them together under one common umbrella to publish content on a number of platforms. Those are my two competing visions. A commie. I'm not a bro, but I am a commie sister. Yeah. Yeah, I would say I'm a fellow traveler in the sense that I think that communism had a lot of good things to say about the worker-employer relationship. I'm not a communist in the sense that I think all of Marx's prescriptions should be adopted for use in a modern society, in its government functioning and everything else. I've read the Communist Manifesto, and therefore I know that there are elements of it that I disagree with harshly as a far-left anarchist. I think that Marx was completely fucking stupid when it came to his premonitions about the lumpen proletariat. These people he lumped in as the most reactionary to capitalist policies, in my experience, are actually the people, as long as they are not too far gone, who are most likely to engage in leftist activism because they are the ones most exposed to the shortcomings of the system. People like prostitutes, homeless people, beggars, etc. These people are most exposed to the dangers of capitalism. Marx looks at them as a reactionary force that is to be discarded, disregarded, whose needs need not be considered directly because they will be addressed through the common improvement of society, whereas I see them as an active part of the resistance. I see them as an active part of the working class that must be uplifted and allowed to help uplift. Cry harder, bitch. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to, but yeah, for sure, for sure. I was joking, by the way. I could literally care less. The bro was a part of the joke. Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. I didn't. I'm too autistic to get that shit sometimes. I'm. It is what it is. You have the same glasses as. I don't know who that is, but right on, yeah. I mean, probably not the same exact ones because these ones are pretty damaged. They've got a bad nose grip. They've got a bad uh, arm over here. If you ever hear about a man from Jerusalem claiming to be God, don't listen to him. He is the Antichrist according to biblical prophecy. Stay safe. I would never listen to anyone from any town ever claiming to be God. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the origin story for the Antichrist, so why would I believe in the fucking Antichrist? You know what's sad? You guys have all this knowledge and love, yet none of you talk about Jesus. You guys, dude, we don't talk about Jesus because we don't believe in the divinity of Christ, and therefore we don't see the discussion of Christianity as a serious theological topic, as a worthwhile topic of discussion. I'm sorry, we just don't. We have a secular worldview. Sky God is weird. Yeah, I agree. Even, yeah, no. Leave America then? What is America now, a fucking Christian nation? You realize America was a fucking secular country? You realize literally America was founded as a secular nation. Don't believe me? Don't listen to me. Take it from Thomas Jefferson in the Tripoli deed. What is it called? The Treaty of Tripoli. Read the text of the Treaty of Tripoli. The United States is not now, nor has it ever been, a Christian nation. Thomas Jefferson in the Treaty of Tripoli. Argue that. Like, literally, don't take it from crazy weird trans girl on YouTube Live. Take it from Thomas Jefferson, owner of Monticello, one of our most prized founding fathers, author of the Bill of Rights. Take it from him. Having a faith might help you out. What help do you think I'm in urgent need of? Just curious. I'm just wondering. You look really bad? That's funny because people have been calling me cute all night, so. Thoughts on Plutibus? I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. We're sorry we upset you, Carol. Yeah, we're really sorry. We're terribly sorry. Leave the planet? You don't think I'd get the fuck off this spinning blue-red block of fucking bullshit if I could? I would, trust me. Why argue with internet throds? Because I've got 389 viewers, 27 likes, and $13 so far. 510 viewers now on the back of arguing with internet throds. I think I'm going to keep doing it. Nobody has said that. I don't even know what you're talking about. Thoughts to bear arms? Well, I mean, I don't usually do bear arms, but I guess I'll do them. And before you say that's not what he's talking about, that's what he said. He said he did not say bear. He did not say bear as in to bear. He said bear as in lacking clothing. So I don't know. I don't like you asked me what I thought about. Actually, you asked me what I think to bear arms. So I'll just show you. Like, yeah, I've got bare arms now because I've rolled my sleeves up. So we can do bare arms for a while. I don't know why bare arms is such a thing you would want, but we can do bare arms if that's what you want. $13? Yeah, that's pretty good considering I've been streaming live for 25 minutes and 51 seconds. Considering the average worker in America makes something like $13 an hour or something like that, 15 bucks an hour, I would say that's actually pretty fucking good. What's your view on Islam? Pretty much just as dismissive of it as I am of Christianity. I don't see any particular reason why we should accord Islam any more believability or any more rationality than we accord Christianity, which is to say zero. It's not to say I discriminate against Muslims or Arabs. I don't. In fact, I love Muslims. They tend to be pretty friendly people. They tend to be really willing to talk about their religion. And I've also never once in my entire life had a Muslim try to convert me. Every Christian I've ever met has attempted in some subtle way to get me to believe in Christianity, but I've never even been so much as invited to a mosque. Well, that's not true. I was invited to a mosque, but I had to prompt it. My older sister, one of my older sisters, was dating a Saudi Arabian guy for a while, and his name was Saud, and he was really fucking cool, really awesome, spoke English really well, thick accent, but spoke really well. And we had lots of really fun conversations. Um, one of the things I talked to him about was this very subject. Um, Basically, like what is going to a mosque like what's in there, what does it consist of? And he was like, oh, would you like to go? I can bring you. Well, he didn't say it like that. He's like, oh, well, would you like to go? I could bring you one of these days. It would be very fun and very educational for you. I think it would be a very good time there. And I was like, I mean, sure. But I ended up fucking having to go before we could plan anything because I was only going to be down there for like 3 days. And we had that conversation on like the day before I left. So it is what it is. He didn't actually get to take me to a mosque, but I've never had any other Muslim even invite me to a mosque, much less try to proselytize to me. I've had Muslims admit that they're Muslim when I ask. I've had Muslims say things that tell me that they're Muslim, inshallah, or, you know, Allahu Akbar, things like that, which people associate that with terrorism, but it's really just used as like an affirmation, and it can be used as an affirmation, it can be used as a curse, it can be used as a motto. There's a million different uses for it, and most of them don't have anything to do with fucking ISIS. It's just kind of I don't know. It's like a it's like if there was an American Civil War in the modern day, and everybody, after it got over with, started associating "yeehaw" with like horrible, racist, evil idiots. I converted a Muslim to an atheist. I feel like you'd probably have an easier time converting a Muslim to an atheist than converting an atheist to a Muslim. That's for sure. Stop confusing Islam and Muslims. What do you mean? Unless you're from the UK. What are you talking about? This is against the grain mentality. When people try to stand out, by going against what the majority of people around them believe because they want to feel special, that is one of the many theories that has been coined to explain away any kind of divergent behavior that conservatives don't like in a population. So back when it was autism, oh, you're just trying to be special. Back when it was edgy goth look, oh, you're just trying to be special. Back when it was fucking, even people like in the 1950s were dealing with this kind of like stupid discrimination when the fucking what were they called? I keep wanting to call them the Bolsheviks, the beatniks. When the beatniks were a thing, oh, you just want to feel special. You're just going against the fucking majority so you can feel special and make yourself look out like you're some kind of crazy thing. Dude, it's not It's never been demonstrated. There's no fucking way to demonstrate it, but it's an accusation that gets levied on every single group of people once acceptance for them starts becoming more widespread. If it's other than race, the only people for whom that can't be said is race, because you can't just turn black one day. The only person who's ever gone from one race to another was Michael Jackson, and he didn't choose that, okay? Are you single? Yeah. What's the star design behind your head? It's a pentacle. If you ever hear about a man from Jerusalem claiming to be God, dude, I've already fucking listened to that. I've already fucking read it once today. I hate cars. I wish that we weren't so car dependent in the United States. I really don't hate cars. I genuinely love driving. I genuinely like car culture from some certain directions. I'm not like a car nerd, but I know a fucking cool car when I see one, or at least I think I do. Probably don't, but um, I don't think that they should be the fucking main transportation method that we're reliant on as a nation. Though that's one of the biggest problems with how we do transportation in this country, is the fact that we rely like on individual driven cars to get us from place to place in this country, when pretty much every fucking country with a ton of people and a ton of land to move those people within has figured out that high speed rail combined with light rail and like bedroom community rail, that kind of thing, that is how you get people moved from place to place most effectively, most efficiently, with the least waste of fuel and everything else. And for some reason, there's always some reason why we can't do that in the United States. There's always some reason we have to get why we can't do that in the United States. You have buses and trains. We really don't have trains though. We've got low speed fucking trains. If you compare them to like Japan or Germany or any country that's got high speed rail, we have slow ass trains. Our trains, our passenger trains, they cap out at like 75 miles an hour, I think. And that's just absurd when you think about the fact that there are trains in Europe going 135 miles an hour. It's just like there are trains literally going twice as fast as our trains can go in Europe and Asia, and we can't figure that out here. Why? Well, when you talk to Americans about it, you get this can't do attitude that to me feels completely foreign. Because if you look through our media is full of our scientists not giving a fuck about what we can and can't do. Our scientists and engineers not giving a fuck about what we can and can't do. It's only recently that that's become such an urgent concern in the minds of Americans. Transgender, yes, I am trans. I do agree with you, but here's the thing: America's way too big. No, it's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not. This is a myth. 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 I'm telling you, this is a myth. America is not too big. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to call you out, okay? I'm just passionate, okay? You have a misunderstanding about the way the fucking interstate system works, okay? So if we can do an interstate system, we can do a high-speed rail system, okay? So you have to understand the interstate. If you look at the United States interstate map, understand this: the businesses you see built along the interstate, for the most part, don't own those plots. They lease them from the United States Department of Transportation, who federally manages those fucking lands, that all that land, which means along every interstate there is a ready-made corridor for high-speed rail. You could literally run it in the middle. You could run it in the middle of these medians, raised, and there you go. There you go. Instantly, I've solved your eminent domain problem, which is the big thing people cite when you start talking about high-speed rail in America. People cite, well, the eminent domain cases are going to take forever. And I'm like, yeah, they sure would if you fucking created a whole bunch of new corridors for them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. So why don't we use existing corridors? We can shorten them where we have to, and we can use eminent domain to do that, because the interstate system obviously is going to have curvatures and things like that where it just doesn't make sense not to try and bridge that gap. But A properly staffed, equipped, and resourced Department of Transportation tasked with making this happen could figure out where those places are going to need to be and where the alignment of the interstate really is just the best alignment for the train. And I bet you it's going to be 90% of cases it can go right alongside it or go within the median of the interstate. You know how big an interstate median is? Those fuckers are huge. Those fuckers are huge. And the whole fucking corridor is owned by the Department of Transportation. That is where you put your high-speed rail. The incel to trains pipeline is real? I wouldn't know. I've got a double-digit body count. Are you like an engineer? Is this one of those conversations that you have in the middle of the night that go nowhere? Not talking shit, genuinely curious. No, I'm not an engineer. I'm just an engineering nerd. No, I don't think I'm quite smart enough to be an engineer. This is definitely one of those 3 a.m. conversations that ultimately goes nowhere because neither of us are policymakers and none of us are engineers. Yeah, pretty much. By the way, somebody did pay earlier to have me play a little riff on the guitar, and I figure I should probably indulge that before, I lose too many people. Shake down 1979. Cool kids never had the time. To shake these zipper blues, and we don't know just where it all will end for ourselves. Man, that's a good song. How can you hate that song? But there you go. There's a little something on the guitar. There we go. Nice jamming. Thank you. If you guys enjoyed that little snippet of a song, you feel free to reward me with cash. We'll play some more music if you guys want me to. I just feel bad interrupting an otherwise really good conversation with music if that's not where the stream needs to go, You need an Italian woman? I had me an Italian woman, man. They're crazy. They're insane. But they're also pretty hot. So I don't know. It's a balance, Why the pentagrams? Because I like them as symbols. They let people know that I'm not a Christian instantly, just like without even having to listen to me, without even having to bear any, it instantly lets them know that I disagree with their religion. If they happen to be like a hardcore Christian or a hardcore Muslim or something like that, it lets people know that I'm a secularist at the very least, and maybe even a witchy pagan type. But they won't know. Can't hate that song. You did well. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. If I knew all the words, I'd play the whole thing, but I'm still in the process of learning all the words, so I can't play the whole thing. I think we know you're not Christian. Well, you might not if I didn't have those symbols. I mean, you assume that something like that means you're not a Christian, but do you realize how many fucking gay Christians there are? What's the lightning bolt type symbol on the guitar? Yeah, so this is a squatter's rights symbol. It symbolizes solidarity with squatters and the homeless kind of broadly. It's also kind of a way of signifying, hey, I'll house you up if you really need somewhere to fucking crash. But, it would take, there's maybe 40 people in the country that would know that sign, know me, and know that that's what it meant. So I don't ever expect to have that happen from having it shown on my guitar, but it's like solidarity with the fucking unhoused. It's solidarity, especially with squatters and with those who occupy abandoned and off-market residences and things like that. I may sound stupid asking this, but saw someone saying something about the U.S. being tornado alley, so it would be bad for high-speed trains. Does the U.S. have tornadoes more often in certain places? Not really. People come up with all kinds of excuses why we can't have high-speed rail, but this tornado idea that like they're all just going to be swept up by the hurricanes and tornadoes, I don't buy it. We've got plenty of structures all over the Midwest that somehow never managed to get swallowed up by the tornadoes. I mean, even the interstates themselves get hit by tornadoes all the fucking time, and it doesn't seem to do much to them. Ultimately, the only way it would be a problem, it would be a problem in certain areas in the sense that it would limit the type of construction that you could do. So, what I would suggest in places like that is that it be built under the median. Like I said, you guys have to understand the interstate corridors are literally the best place to put fucking high-speed rail for a multitude of reasons. Number one, they're already connected to the cities. They're already connected to all of America's major cities. Number two, the government already owns the land. Number three, the government has to keep owning the land in order to have fucking maintenance jurisdiction over it and in order to keep roads functioning the way they function in America. And so we've got this perfect fucking place to build all these fucking high-speed rail tracks, but we're just not taking advantage of it because I don't think we're like, there's just not enough push. If there was enough push, it would be the natural fucking solution that lawmakers would come up with. It would be the naturally and like it would be the most natural and unassuming decision ever to use these corridors. And in areas where you've got high tornado activity that could possibly jeopardize a train that is set up on piers, or even a train that is simply running at surface level, or maybe projected up a bit on a gravel bed, that would still obviously have that slowing effect and that stopping effect on cars that a median is supposed to have. Whether you've got that piered system or whether you've simply got it up on its own embankment in the median, it could still be, in theory, susceptible more so than the overall highway to tornado activity. And in a case like that, I would, not that I'm a fucking expert, but I would probably think that they would want to dig under the median at that point, just literally remove all that dirt, build the fucking tracks and tunneling and all that, put the dirt back over it, and then just build as they go and just build the tunnels wherever you're worried about having consistent year-to-year tornado activity. There are plenty of places in America that might get a tornado every 20 years, but there's only really a small band of land in America compared to the overall size of the nation that regularly experiences tornadoes on a year-to-year basis. Leviticus 20:13, which states that it's an abomination for a man to lie with another man as he would with a woman. Well, what about Phoebicus 69:420 that says, "Thou shalt not be a douchebag in Phoebe's chat"? What about that commandment? Are you a Christian if you're gay? I'm not a Christian. I'm just pointing out that there are gay Christians, or at least I was earlier. Which there are. You can just look it up. There literally are. I have a genuine question. What are your thoughts on abortion? I think it's a horrible fucking thing for someone to have to go through. I wouldn't wish it upon anybody. I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. But I do think the right to access it should be protected because it's a critical form of healthcare that is vastly important for people to have access to. I think the only people who think that abortion gets used as birth control are people who've never had to sit with their partner through an abortion. I guarantee you they've never had to deal with it because it's a horrible, debilitating procedure that leaves you sick, that leaves you traumatized, that leaves you wondering, that leaves you oftentimes physically hurt for a couple of weeks afterwards. It's not a nice thing. Nobody does it unless they absolutely have to do it. It's not something that's taken lightly, and therefore I think we need to fucking stop looking at it as something that's just going to be misused or some kind of, and that's before we even get into the moral fucking travesty of considering abortion murder. It's literally not. It's literally not. I could come up with a million reasons why it's not, but honestly, I think the biggest fucking indicator that it's not is the fact that America, has not started, like, for some reason, if you get a miscarriage, you're not considered like a negligent mother. I guess actually that's not true. In Texas, I think they did pass a law that does that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it's pretty fucking obvious that a clump of cells like you're dealing with in the very early stages of pregnancy, or a embryo, or a early term fetus or anything like that, is like requires the protections that a baby does. A baby has had the opportunity to be born and naturally has it's got personhood at that point, because a baby has fucking made its way out into the world. It can, in theory, be supported by more than just the person whose body it occupies. But until that happens, it's ultimately a burden that that mother has to carry. And I feel like that it is imperative for mothers to have access to, like, whatever care they need for whatever happens during their pregnancy. Nobody gets a late term abortion because they fucking want to. Nobody, nobody, nobody. By the time you get a baby bump, you are so fucking attached to that pregnancy that you wouldn't give it up for the world. You wouldn't give it up for anything. So this idea that women are just like going and fucking getting abortions fucking haphazardly for birth control, which is the argument I hear against abortion, I think it's just stupid and absurd. And I think that it's way more moral to force a human being to grow another human being in their body for 9 months than it is to kill something that might be a human being if you give it another 4 months, another 5 months, another 7 months. I think the morality of that is clear. I understand that that's become unpopular among a lot of conservatives, but frankly, small government means the government not coming between you and your doctor. I think small government means getting the government out of your wallet, out of your pocketbook, and out of your doctor's office. What are your thoughts on woke? I feel like woke just gets used as anything that's left now, so I don't know, man. I'm a leftist, so I guess I must like woke. I don't know. I don't know what woke means. See, I feel like I hear everything from Hillary Clinton to literal anarchy being described as woke. And, to me as a leftist anarchist, I can't fucking see those things as more separate if I'd fucking tried. But once again, I'm not the kind of person who throws woke at everything. Let's see. You could come up with a million reasons, but they would all be wrong. There's a reason they charge you with double murder for killing a pregnant woman. Yeah, I think it's because we're a bloodthirsty country that loves to throw extra criminal charges at the accused and convicted. That's why. We're a bloodthirsty country that likes to increase the chances that somebody gets sent to death row. We're a bloodthirsty country, a vengeful country, we are there's a line in the Bible. Your God is a vengeful God. He who extracts a sevenfold vengeance. No, your God is what is it? Your God is a petty God, and he exacts a sevenfold vengeance, something like that. And the same is true. The same is true of American culture. American culture is a God which exacts a sevenfold vengeance upon any that violate the hierarchy of violence or any of our other arbitrary rules about how society is to be conducted here. Do you go to any Discord VCs? Your voice sounds familiar. I've hung out in the Thunderdome a couple of times. I've hung out I used to hang out in Salt Rackus back when Paul Zico had a Discord. I hang out very occasionally in TJ Kirk's server. What was the point about a certain areas getting yearly tornadoes? Because somebody asked, because somebody suggested that we couldn't build high-speed rail in certain parts of America because of Tornado Alley. Like, what are we going to do about Tornado Alley? So I was just making the point that you could put the subway tunnels underground in those areas if it would really be that big of a risk, which I don't think it would be. I don't think that, like, I think the fact that fucking interstate highways remain mostly fucking functional and fine even after getting hit by tornadoes proves that there are ways to build infrastructure to make them resistant to that kind of thing. Well, what do I know? Once again, I'm not an engineer. Could you please have a debate with someone with different views? I wonder how that would be. I've had all kinds of debates with people with different views, young buyer. I literally make my living having debates with people with different views. Speaking of which, if you've been enjoying the conversation, consider sending a super chat. This is an entirely audience supported channel, and we really appreciate every contribution you guys make because you guys are what makes this possible, what makes the upgrades possible, and what makes me so excited to do this, honestly, because it's just knowing that I've got such an ecstatic group of really cool people out there not only to have conversations with me and everything else, but the fact that you guys support me monetarily and everything through your contributions to the channel, membership, stuff like that. It really is cool. I also have my Cash App in my channel description if you prefer to use that, which some people do for because they don't want YouTube to take their fee or because they don't want fucking, whatever. I don't understand people's individual reasons, but I like to put it out there. Can I walk into my house once without some kind of fucking circus? I don't know where that's from, but I like it. She debates people with different views all the damn time. Yeah, pretty much pretty much all I do on this channel, honestly. No hate, but the woke ideology will ruin this country. Be whatever you want to be, and I'll support you with the policies and mindset that the left pushes kids to blame everyone else. Hurt the wait. Huh? I feel like there's a lot of ideas there. We can go through those in a second. Great show. Thank you so much for the $1.99. That was really fucking kind of you. I appreciate that. So, what is woke ideology? Can you define that for me, Visquan? Because I feel like we're gonna need to get there before we can get anywhere else. Because I don't know what people mean when they say woke ideology. When you say it's the ideas that the left is pushing to kids and it's hurting the nation, what does that mean? What ideas is the left pushing to kids? Because I feel like the left is incredibly marginalized in this country. They don't have a definition, definitely not. Yeah, that's what I tend to believe as well. But like, we're gonna try. We're gonna give them a chance to make their case. As someone who's taken 3 months of HRT, if I recall, what are your opinions of healthcare based on your experience as a marginalized person in it? That we need a universal healthcare system. The sooner the better, and that privatized healthcare makes getting healthcare harder for everybody, from marginalized people to regular, everyday, working class people who just need knee surgeries, hip surgeries, back surgeries, general care for their pain, and things like that. I think that we could not. There's literally no policy more important in this country right now than getting universal health care. That should be the sole policy focus of every lawmaker in Congress until it's achieved. You gotta be at least 50% brain dead to say the word intelligence in this chat. Fun to listen to? Yeah, maybe if I was deaf. Well, you're still here. I know it's probably not important, but I have OCD and Nite is spelled night. Yeah, I know. I spelled it like that so I could get extra characters into my YouTube title, because NITE is only four letters, whereas NIGHT is 5 letters. Yeah, I know. I know. Nick DeCat took that whole time just to say that. That's wild. Anytime they try to define it, it becomes an abstract concept that they can't even put into words. Their minds just short circuit. That's what I'm trying to get to. I just want anybody out there, any MAGA person that wants to present a definition for woke, please do it. I'm willing. I want to hear your definition. I do. I want to hear it. Are you for or against prison abolition? I'm against. I think I'm for prison abolition. I think, yeah. I don't know exactly what that would look like because I'm not that capable a thinker, frankly. But I think, yes, properly functioning society that really treated criminality with a humanistic lens, I don't think that they would have prisons. And if they did have prisons, I know for a fact that they wouldn't look like American prisons. I've worked as a correctional officer before, so I know intimately what the inside of a prison looks like. It's pretty brutal. It's pretty fucking rough in America, and it's even rougher in other places. And I've got family that are COs in worse states when it comes to that kind of thing. I mean, Mississippi has a prison farm to this day. To this day, Mississippi has a prison farm. You understand that? So, I mean, shit's rough. And American prisons are definitely not what works when it comes to recidivism rates. American prisons actually contribute to higher recidivism rates by increasing the amount of exposure that people have to other forms of criminality, to other mechanisms for criminality, to other mechanisms of hiding their behavior. Woke equals being socially aware, especially about issues like racism, inequality, discrimination, and injustice. See, that's not the fucking definition that conservatives use, though. And if that's the definition that conservatives are relying on, then what problem do they have with it? Like, are you really going to deny that there aren't are you really going to deny that there are racial prejudices in America? They're all over the fucking place. All over the fucking place. Are you really going to deny that there's sexism in America? It's all over the fucking place. Are you really going to deny that there's um, like gender discrimination? That there's discrimination on the basis of people's nationality, discrimination on the basis of people's religion? Let me see. Margot sent $5. Did you read about the mass unmarked grave outside of the Jackson State Prison in Mississippi? Yes, I have heard about that. I haven't read extensively about it, but I do need to read extensively about it. I tell you what, Margot, we will cover that the next time I do a desktop stream. I will pull some stuff about that, and we will go through that live on stream because you paid me about it, and I'm willing to commit that to the next stream. That'll be some good content while we grind the goal even further. That'll be dope. Mississippi is rough, my friend. From there, legit got kidnapped because he was part of a diff gang. Dude, Mississippi is a really fucking rough place to this day. I grew up here, I moved away for like 10, 12 years and then came back. And honestly, it got a little bit more technologically advanced, but not much. And it got a little bit more culturally advanced, but not much. I would say we're still a good 20 years behind the times when it comes to like cultural acceptance of queer people, when it comes to like the cultural attitudes. Honestly, when it comes to like cultural attitudes towards race, shit is way, 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 it's weird here. I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it because it's not like racial violence is still super common in the Deep South. It's really not. But that's kind of the weird thing about it, because to hear white people in private talk about black people down here, you would think there would be. And to hear black people in private that trust you, even what they'll say around me, a white person that I've had a few black friends down here that seem to trust me all right, even what they'll say about white people in front of me, that tells me that there should, by all rights, be way more racist violence down here. There should be way more fucking interracial violence, but maybe that's why there's not. Maybe I'm just perceiving that a black person wouldn't want to be honest about their perceptions about white people when they're around a white person. Maybe that's just a racist preconception on my part, because there's plenty of white people who don't have any compunctions about telling black people how they feel about black people in general. So I don't suppose, especially down here. So maybe that's why it works, because everybody is so honest about their racism and everybody is so like acknowledging of it. And it's like, because it's known, it doesn't cause issues. But I don't know, dude. Like I said, to hear fucking white people in private talk about black people, or a white person that's asked directly by a black person about their racism or something like that, like, you would really think that there would be more discrimination down here, but there doesn't seem to be. The only thing I can think is that the fucking South is afraid of the occupation happening again. They're afraid of getting the National Guard sent back down here and occupying all the fucking government houses and shit like that. And so they've just decided, well, we can be as racist as we want to be, but we just can't be legally racist. We can't be officially racist. That's I cannot figure it out, but that is my honest assessment of the the race relations dynamic in the Deep South. Are you good at playing that guitar behind you? Depends on who you ask, honestly. Just depends on who you ask. In your opinion, do you think it has become trendy to be trans in the last couple of years, or were there so many hiding people? Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's become trendy to be trans. I think that it's become acceptable enough for that first cadre of people. That so the same thing happened with gay people, right? The same thing happened with gay people back in the 70s, back during the first wave of the sexual revolution and people being more open about themselves, and the first wave of queer advocacy and queer culture in the late 60s and early 70s. The same argument was made about gay people. Oh, it's just trendy. Everybody's saying they're gay now because it's trendy, or everybody's saying they're bi now because it's trendy, or everybody's saying they're fucking they've done some gay stuff because it's trendy or whatever. Obviously, not everybody, but there was the same accusation made, and it was made again for every wave of gay people until like the third or fourth. And once it became just a completely like obtuse thing, you know, like once trans people became the new focus of the culture wars, gay people suddenly, gay people coming out was no longer treated as a trendy thing. Even though higher numbers of gay people have came out every year, we just fairly and rightly attribute that to there being higher numbers of people every year. There being higher number and there being a little bit more acceptance in a lot of more areas, right? Areas catching up culturally and everything. That helps bring acceptance. That helps me bring people out of the closet. And trans people are going through that first wave right now. Trans people are going through that initial first wave of people who, uh, not wave zero. Wave zero is the people who come out before it is socially acceptable almost anywhere. Wave zero, the people like Marsha Johnson, the people like, um, oh fuck, I'm gonna forget her name. Oh, I'm gonna forget her name. Um, Wendy Carlos, people like that, that were the real wave zero when it came to trans people that were coming out at a time where it hadn't been politicized yet. It was generally looked at as weird and discounted and seen as disgusting in a lot of ways. It was the subject of a lot of jokes, but it was so new to the culture when it actually started happening for real that people almost gave it the benefit of the doubt at first. And um, be, depended on obviously where you were, who you were, the situation, the context, your behavior, a lot of other things. Discrimination very quickly became a part of the life of these people, and that kind of set us up for the long period of time that it took for us to fight for enough acceptance of trans people for the first wave of people who felt like, okay, it's safe for me to come out, so therefore I'm going to come out, right? Because before then, it's just people who literally cannot stand to not be themselves anymore. Before that, it's literally just people who, like, they can't do it. They have to get to wherever they will be safe and they have to transition, or they're just going to end their own life or something like that. And I would say that, excuse me, I would say that I'm a trans woman who came out during like the second big wave of trans people coming out. I would say the first big wave of trans people coming out actually happened between 2012-ish and 2016-ish. I would say that was the first big wave of trans people coming out. It kind of coincided with the big rise of like Tumblr and the anti-SJW/SJW just on its own era. That era kind of created the first wave of like open, acknowledged, and widespread people coming out as trans for the first time. And accusations of it being just some trend came about back then too. But those people continued to live as trans people. And slowly but surely, people started to understand again, like, okay, I guess trans people are just a thing and it's not really that big a deal. And then there was another wave of people coming out, especially during the pandemic. People had time to get to know themselves. People, for the first time, really got to be as expressive as they wanted to be. Some people had the ability for the first time in their life to have a little disposable income they could use on self expression. And we had another wave of people coming out because obviously there's no risk to coming out as trans if everybody's locked down because there's a pandemic. And there's more of an like there's more of an opportunity for you to explore that side of yourself if you know you're not going to be judged by people out in public and people just out in the world and everything. I've never heard a physician or nurse agree with gender as a social construct or transsexuality at work. Just because the nurses and doctors in your particular hospital think it's all hokum doesn't mean it is. I would tell those doctors, well, have you not read the Mayo Clinic's information about it? Like, what? I would ask them, what specific issues do they have with the science of it? Because it sounds to me like they might have gotten their degrees through, I don't know, like, I don't know. I don't want to suggest, but like, I wouldn't trust a doctor that said gender is this strict thing that is strictly tied to sex, and they just disagree flatly with the idea of trans people is real. I would flatly not trust that doctor. Even if I wasn't trans, I wouldn't trust that doctor, because the widespread and widely accepted medical understanding and scientific understanding of the medical community is that gender transition is the recommended course of treatment for a person experiencing gender dysphoria. Some people are trans because they feel like the wrong gender. Some people are trans because they want to be able to announce they're trans and seem different. I don't agree at all. There is absolutely no point in changing every fucking thing about your life just so you can feel a little different. There's absolutely no fucking point in that. Why? If you're so desperate to feel different, why wouldn't you just get a weird haircut? If you're so desperate to feel different, why wouldn't you just, I don't know, change up your fashion style? If you're so desperate to be different, why wouldn't you just come out as a different religion? Dude, there are so many fucking simpler ways to make yourself seem wacky and different without coming out as trans and uprooting everything about your life. Imagine this. Imagine someone is so starved for attention that they literally induce half of their family to disown them just so that they can get uh, checks notes, dirty looks at the supermarket, and the occasional high five from a random person on Facebook. That makes no fucking sense. That makes no fucking sense. Why would a person choose to subject themselves to intense discrimination that is very much likely not going to be legally protected for attention? That makes no fucking sense. Especially when there are so many other ways to get attention. Learn an instrument. That's the thing I always say, dude. Like, I'm not trans because I want attention. I play guitar because I want attention. I'm trans because I have gender dysphoria, and being trans makes me feel less gender dysphoric. I play guitar because I want attention. I stream because I want attention. I'm trans because I can't help it. Any age limits you'd put on treatments? I go with the Dutch on this, my friend. Ask the Dutch. Look up the Dutch protocol when it comes to trans people. Look up Dutch protocol trans people, and you will have my answer for how I think trans medicine should be administered when it comes to minors. There's no gender dysphoria. You can't even spell dysphoria, so you'll forgive me for not taking that opinion altogether too seriously. So you're just mentally ill? Something like 60% of Americans are mentally ill in some way. So, like, mentally ill is not exactly like some marker of quality of opinion. It's not exactly some demarcator as to a person's ability to function in their life. I mean, you can have mild anxiety and that be a mental illness. You're not going to discount everything that person has to say just because they have that, are you? Because if we're going to discount everybody's opinion and everything they have to say because they experience some kind of mental illness or they have a condition or whatever the case may be, and I'm not actually sure if gender dysphoria is considered a condition or an illness, because there is a difference. But regardless, if we're going to start discounting people's opinions and disregarding their policies merely because of the capacity of their brain, then I want proof, objective fucking proof, that Donald Trump is in fine mental condition, because I think that he's experienced at least 2 strokes, and I think that there's a pretty good chance that he is on his way to frontotemporal dementia. Is coming out as a member of the is coming out as a member of the LGBTQI community as difficult as people say? It depends on where you are and who you're around. If you're in a really accepting community with a really accepting family, then no, it's not hard at all. In fact, it can be a really beautiful, fun experience. But if you're a person that, like, for a person like me, like if I didn't have the family that I have, I probably wouldn't have come out because I don't have the environment going for me. I guess when I lived in Missouri, I lived in a pretty accepting and welcoming environment, but Mississippi is certainly not known for its love of queer people. Who cut your bangs? I cut my own bangs. Thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate that. Let me just check fan funding. Let me see here. Let me see here. Okay, I read all of them. Cool. You guys have been so fucking generous today that you guys have gotten us up to $21.98, which means we have reached the r/public freakouts goal. I will not be able to make good on that goal until Friday night, but Friday night we'll do a desktop stream and we will go through r/public freakout. If we manage to make $100 between now and Friday, we will add call-ins to that list. So if you like this channel and you like calling in, then, or you like the idea of calling in, or you like the idea of listening to someone calling in and arguing with me, having a debate with somebody I disagree with, consider donating, because we are about $50 away from reaching that goal. And if we reach that goal, then we will update the goals, we'll set new ones, and we'll make those the goals for Sunday night. The first time I actually met a trans person, it was great. She made a few origami pieces, and I still have them. I bought a special box for them. Aw, that's so fucking cool. That's awesome. That's dope. Typical denial of psychiatry. That's what Scientologists and other religious cults do. What are you talking about? You should come to California. You would love Berkeley. I would, but California is super fucking expensive, and I don't make nearly enough on this channel to afford it. I like your guitar. Thanks. Thanks. I appreciate it. That's really kind. Not in any offensive way, I just want to be educated. If someone is a trans woman, does that mean they transitioned into a woman, or a woman that transitioned? That means they transitioned into a woman, effectively. I mean, that it's clumsy language, yes, but you get the idea. You get the general picture. Why are you on the weird side of YouTube again? You've got to be looking at something on the rest of your phone that's telling YouTube to throw this in your algorithm. I was talking about people who say psychiatry or psychology is a scam. Oh, okay. So you're not talking about trans people. Okay, I was about to say, dude, as far as I know, psychiatry agrees with the fucking gender-sex distinction. I don't know. But, yeah, dude, the funny thing about Scientology and its relationship to psychiatry is that Scientology is really just ripped off Freudian psychology, ripped off Freudian psychiatry methods, ripped off Freudian non-clinical psychology and shit. And it's really fucking crazy how much of that shit has been rewritten and incorporated into Dianetics and the rest of the fucking Scientology books and beliefs. It is fucking wild. Dude, I gotta tell you guys, there's an old friend of mine that back when I knew him, he was pretty fucking normal. A little loony. He was the dude who got me my first hit of acid, but he's fucking insane now. Fucking insane. Like, shit the bricks, hit the wall, fucking insane. So goddamn motherfucking gibberish brained insane that I don't even know how to fucking handle it. Literally, the last thing he wrote on fucking Reddit is something about how he is experimenting on the homeless schizophrenics of Southern Alabama in regards to his theory about helping people reach Hubbard clear state in 20 minutes. What? Gibberish. I'm telling you, gibberish. But, dude, he was always so fucking crazy that he was always one of those people that was so fucking crazy that maybe he was onto something. So part of me thinks, you know what? Maybe this motherfucker's onto something. What the fuck do I know? Because this dude was literally a genius. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, I know people say that about friends that are just kind of smart. This dude was an actual fucking genius. I don't know what happened, but he is the right age, you know? He's the right age and he lost his dad a couple years ago, so it is what it is, man. He probably fucking does just have schizophrenia and he's just getting continuously worse and not getting medicated. He's not even getting seen properly. He's not even getting treated properly because his fucking doctors won't believe him because he's too cogent. He's still too cogent. He hasn't done enough insane shit to get properly medicated yet, even though he wrote this big long manifesto. And in it, there's this big page that's basically like, it's so sad. It's a plea for help, an active plea for help. It says, police, you have a problem in this man. Should you find him, please escort him to, it's basically like this big long thing just saying, please take me to the doctor. Please take me to the doctor. Please take me to the doctor. It contains a thinly veiled threat to the Dothan Police Department. I don't fucking know, man. It's fucking wild. I just hate to see him in such bad state. And as far as I can tell, it's tied in some way to Scientology, which just makes it all the fucking sadder, man. How has dating been in your experience as a trans person so far? I'll be honest with you, dating is a little harder as a trans person. I used to get way more matches as like when I was like boy moding, as we say in the trans world, you know, the queer world. I don't know what you'd say, but like when I was boy moding, I used to get more matches on dating sites and things like that. And I used to have a little bit easier time, I feel like. Approaching people and striking up conversations with them and shit like that at the grocery store or at a movie theater or whatever. Not in the movie, but you know, if you're standing in line with somebody or whatever. And I feel like that happens less now. And I feel like it's not necessarily me because I feel like I've gotten more confident, more charismatic, more willing to engage in that kind of thing with time. But I feel like me being trans kind of puts some people off just like naturally. Like they were just raised and in like marinated in a culture that's super anti-trans, and so they can't really help but mirror some of those sentiments for themselves. How is it tied into Scientology? Well, like I said, he thinks he can get people to what he calls Hubbard clear state in 20 minutes. Um, Now, the time obviously has nothing to do with it, but I'm just relaying the fucking sentence, right? And what he's referring to there is this idea within Scientology of the reactive mind that has to be cleared of engrams, which are these uh, things that prevent you from growing or whatever psychologically. Really, they're like bad memories and things like that, but they're also crazy made up stories that the auditing process makes you invent as you get done with your own traumas, right? And it's like, I think theologically it's explained as like the fucking souls of alien ghosts or some shit like that that are attached to you. I don't fucking know, dude. I'm not a Scientologist. I've heard people talk about this shit, and that's pretty much it. But I know clear state is the state of having all of those engrams cleared and having your reactive mind completely cleared. Um, and so, like, his entire fucking premise is it's premised on Scientology. And the way he says it, it sounds like he came up with many of the ideas that he's using before he got introduced to the idea of Scientology. But Scientology has given him all of these words and it's given him all this validity. It's given him this new lexicon with which to talk about his delusions. And it's also given him validity. It's given him the impression of realism and the impression that what he's doing, what he's engaging in, what he's exploring is ultimately real. Dude, nobody's defending addiction, but it literally does not help a smoker to tell them to stop smoking. It literally does not help us. It just reminds us that we've got something to smoke. Legit hit a bowl twice, and that was almost in an hour span of time. Bruh. You ain't never met a fucking smoker. Bro, 2 hits to a bowl in the span of an hour is a very, very low amount of weed to consume in an hour. Maybe it's not. Am I just a weirdo? Be real. 1 in the chat if I smoke too much weed. 2 in the chat if you think I don't smoke enough. 3 for the manatee. 1 in the chat if I smoke too much weed. 2 in the chat if you don't think I smoke enough weed. 3 for the manatee. One in the chat if you think I smoke too much weed. 2 in the chat if you don't think I smoke enough weed. And 3 for the manatee. How many grams a day and is it flour? I would say between 1 and 2 grams a day. No, not even that much. I would say like a gram and a half a day at max. Usually something like 1/8 of a gram a day, maybe. I would say I smoke like 2 bowls a day, and my bowl is not that big. And yes, it's flour. Where do you get the bud? The dispensary? Like every normal fucking person that lives in a weed legal state or a med card state anyway. No, I'm saying not smoking that shit like crazy. I'd finish it in 30 seconds. Oh, okay. So you were defending me. You were defending me then. 4, I don't care. Smoke however much you want. That's the right answer. That's the right answer. That's the fucking correct answer. Victor is correct. Victor Escobar, you've been great tonight. I just want to tell you, you've been a fucking most valued chatter tonight. You smoke too much? If you say so. Let's see what the chat said. So I got, let's see, I got 3, 2, 1, 3. That's funny. Mostly I've got the manatee. 1 if by land, 2 if by sea, 3 is for the manatee. I love it. I think this is an individual situation. Oh, man. I wonder, where did I achieve, like, how did I manage to pick up a few fucking, how did I manage to pick up a few Brett Keeney logs? I just want to know. Did you guys start watching me because DFF promoted my channel? Did you guys start watching me because fucking the Drunken Peasants fucking lauded me when I fucking went on and challenged Brett? How did you get here? I just want to know. If you're a Brett Keeney log in chat, just let me know. How did you look like John Lennon? I've heard that before. I don't really think I do, but I appreciate it. Appreciate it. The art of not giving a fuck is a beautiful thing. It really fucking is. It's a dying art form for sure. Riley is just being a troll. Normalize cannibalism. Eat shit. You legit popped on my screen when I was watching some shorts. Yeah, I know. That's how people like normally get here. I'm talking specifically to the Brett Keeney logs that watch, though. For me, totally happenstance tonight. I'm at work and scrolled by the stream. LOL. I'm definitely not an A-log of anyone, but I used to be a big DP fan. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just don't know what else to call the people who are aware of Brett Keen. DP fans, I guess, really is the only thing I can... That's really the only thing that unites us, is our shared knowledge of the manatee. You really, like, if you suspect someone is a DP fan in public, you know how Christians used to draw a little fish symbol in the sand? Well, we have this thing where we can go like, individual? And if it's a DP fan, they'll fucking turn their ass around, look around, and be like, situation? It's like Marco Polo for fat stoners, dude. I love it. It's great. I'm glad you found my channel though, dude. I'm a fucking active Deep Fat Fried and Paul's Ego fan, and obviously The Amazing Atheist. I've been watching TJ longer than I've been watching Paul actually, but I was a big fan of DP back in the day. I wasn't a ground floor DP watcher. It took me a while to get into their content. I would say I started watching them about a year and a half, 2 years before the breakup, something like that, 2015. I saw a smoke pan shirt in public once and was starstruck. Ah, yes. Oh man, that's so great. Oh man, I would fucking come in my pants if that happened for sure. I just like people yelling at each other. It's funny as fuck to me, dude. I do too. I love people yelling at each other. I love it. I love yelling at the chat. I love the chat yelling back at me. It's a real hostile environment in here, but you know, it's fun. It's entertaining for people. I can tell you that much. You caught me on my you caught me on your recommended and you're glad. Well, I'm glad you're glad. How about that? And now that the viewers have fucking declined a little bit, it's a more intimate environment. You guys want to hear some music before I get out of here? Because we're losing viewers fucking fast, so I feel like I want to offer that before everybody gets gone. I'm like, don't leave! I'll do anything! Don't leave me! People say I'm an attention whore for being trans. It's like, dude, I'm streaming. What do you mean? That's why I'm an attention whore. Not because I'm fucking trans. Such a fucking surface level idiot read. Trans because I can't help it. I've been seeking attention since the day I was born. I miss internet blood sports. I do too. And honestly, I'm trying to get it kind of restarted on this channel. Genuinely. Like, I'm trying to get my fucking foot in the door and kind of put out the idea that internet blood sports, there's never been a better time for it than now. Play I Don't Mind Stealing Bread. I wish I knew that song, because that sounds like a song I would very much like. Well, you know what we can do? Okay, sorry. We're going to do something unique, okay? You guys stay right here, okay? I'm happy the chat isn't spammed with bullshit right now, if anything. Yeah, no, me too, for sure. Thank you guys for donating so much, by the way. You guys got us up to the persistent goal, the fucking $50 for Reddit. So look forward to that on Friday. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the lyrics to 1979 and we're going to play them. I just have to get them pulled up and then dual screen. The audio is muted. Hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Is it working now? Oh my god, this fucking app. Okay. Is it muted now? We're so back. Okay. Cool. Yay. That's awesome. I'm so happy that we're back. Okay. I'm going to plug up my gimbal real quick just in case, because I don't want it to die while I'm doing this song and then mess everything up. Okay, so. Shakedown 1979. Cool kids never have the time. Live wire, you and I should meet. June bug skipping like a stone. Headlights pointed at the dawn. Sure, we'd never see an end to it all. And I don't even care to search these autumn blues. And we don't know just where our bones will rest. To dust, I guess, forgotten and absorbed to the earth below. Gotta scroll down. Double cross the bacon and the board. They're not sure just what we have in store. Morphine slipping into Morphine City. Yeah, fuck. Dude. You know, in my mind, you guys are getting to witness a very deep and intimate creative process, but, you know, you guys probably hate it because I'm, like, teaching myself this song as I go along. Double cross the bacon and the board. They're not sure just what we have in store. Morphine City slipping news down to see that we don't even care. Restless as we are, we feel the pull in the land of thousand gifts and poured cement, lamented and assured to the lights in town. faster than the speed of sound, faster than we thought we'd go, beneath the sound of home. Justy never knew the rules, hung down with you freaks and ghouls. No apologies ever need be made. I know you better than you fake it to see. We don't even care to shake these hip-hop blues, and we don't know just where our bones will rest to dust, I guess, forgotten and absorbed to the earth below. Okay. Well, that's one down the pipes. Live music is always my jam. Hell yeah. Do you like computer programming? I did when I was a kid. I'm not big into it anymore. Does anybody remember Sargon of Akkad? Didn't that dude form a political party or something? I think he tried his best, but I don't know if he got very far. Don't worry, we trust the process. Aw, cool. Excuse me. Your G-string is out. Fuck you. Fuck you. Now I'm testing it. Motherfucker. Fuck you for being right. Fuck you for being right. God, fuck you. Fucking. Bitch. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I'm being mean on purpose to be funny. You're like so talented. No, I am not. Don't butter me up for that shitty performance. Dude, I wish I could. There is this song that I love, but I cannot figure out exactly how he plays it. The person who plays it, I cannot figure out exactly how they play it. Dun 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 dun. There's another string that's off too. That's no good. I can hear that one. Yeah, that one's just. Capo's getting that one a little bit. person that made me think about my tuning is such a cunt. If you're enjoying the jam session, consider supporting the stream with a donation to my Cash App or my super chats. We sat on the boat, rocks of plum wine, and we watched the fog roll and swallow the bridge on the bay. Thought I could live here, but I'm still in high gear, sweating at freezing 3,000 away. Old Pennsylvania, 3 mile islands, or coal fires, but the miners' highway. I'd love just to leave you, but it's good to see you. And off Belvedere, Hostile City, PA. Where we all come from, most died of the black lung. Another browbeater, a boxer and saint. When he finally got caught, the cops made a few calls. They opened his cell, never fought him again. Oh, Pennsylvania, 3 mile islands, coal fires, buckle the miners' highway. I'd love just to leave you, but it's good to see you. And on Belvedere, Hostile City, PA. And on Belvedere, Hostile City, PA. Wake me when Steel City's road sunshine in my face. Ooh, now I'm safe. Was that a keep show with drive-through windows? The gun shows got carousels and funnel cake. Says church in neon and ask me what's beyond. If I had to guess, I'd say more of the same. Oh, Pennsylvania, 3 mile island, your coal fires buckle the miners' highway. I'd love just to leave you, but it's good to see you. And on Belvedere, Hostile City, PA. And on Belvedere, Hostile City, PA. Rip Eric. R.I.P. Eric. Why is everybody leaving? Why is everybody going? Everybody's just tired. Everybody's just sleepy. Oh, what the hell happened? Well, just because it's almost 2 a.m. doesn't mean everybody's got to leave me. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's a joke. I'm kidding. When's next live Friday? That'll probably be around 6 p.m., I would say. I'm funny? Well, that's good. That's part of the mission, right? It's part of my mission, at least. Oh man, I just saw a hilarious clip of Tom DeLonge doing an impression of his younger self singing. That's funny. I bet it is great. Meow. Anyway. I'm losing my marbles. Hell yeah, emo night. Emo night. Do I know Paralytic States by Against Me? No, I sadly do not. Conquered renegade, 16 just held such better days. Days when I so felt. Moving our song just like prayers, like gospel hymns that you caught in the air. Come down, sweet reverence, unto my simple house and ring, ring. Ring like silver, ring like gold. Ring out the ghost on the Ohio. Ring like clear day wedding bells. Hurry the belly of the beast or the sword that fell. Never tell. Come to me, calm and clear. Some see. Watch the world spin in waves. Some machine. I've been crazy, couldn't you tell? Threw stones at the stars, but the sky fell. Now I'm caught up in strawberry up on the table. And I drank and I sang, crashed in the stage. Oh, 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 that tall grass grows high and brown. Well, I dragged you straight in the muddy ground. and you send me back to where I roam. Well, I cursed and I cried, and now I know. Now I know. And I ran back to that holler again. The moon was just a sliver back then. And I equal my heart like the Tin Man. When it came, oh, it beat and boiled and it rained. It's ringing. Ring like crazy, ring like hell. Turn my back toward that wild-haired gale. Ring like silver, ring like gold. Turn these diamonds straight back into gold. Turn these diamonds straight back into gold. Turn these diamonds straight back. Well, that was fun. I don't think we got any cash up donations tonight, but I'm going to check those real quick. No, sadly, we did not. But, you guys have been fun, as always. And as usual around this time, I gotta get off here. Oh, fuck. A repeat to all. A repeat to all. And to all a good night. Have yourself a merry little quizmoise. 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 I like that. Have yourself a merry little quizmoise. Well, it was fun. This has been fun. Hi, Autumn. You came in at the last fucking minute, literally. Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out. I will see you guys later. Peace be upon you.